Did we get it?
Armand, I don't know if I've picked on Armand for a while. 6 o'clock, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Armand, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business here is to approve the minutes of the non-public work session of July 25th, 2015. Do I have a motion to approve the July 27th non-public work session minutes?
I move that we approve the July 27th non-public work session minutes.
So we have a motion by Neil and a second by John. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Then we have the non-public work session of August 3rd, 2015. Minutes from that, we have a motion to approve those.
I move that we accept those minutes.
By Armand, and a second by Bill, I think. I can see
Sure, I'll
him.
second it, sure.
All right, everybody's getting a chance to participate here tonight. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And finally, we have the minutes of our regular meeting of August 3rd. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
And seconded.
And this time it's Bill and a second by Armand. All those in favor?
Aye.
We have pretty much the usual announcements, which is that our regular meetings are at 6 p.m. The next one is August 24th. Work review sessions prior to the regular meeting start at 5. We're going to have a public hearing on the proposed alternative treatment center on August 17th, so a week from tonight at 6 o'clock. And we will have a non-public work session before that at 5. There's also a tentative work session scheduled for August 31st, which may be canceled, you never know. And the other thing, Plymouth State University wanted us to announce a couple times, if we could, is that move-in day is going to be on Saturday, August 29th, and Sunday, August 30th, and that High Street between Main and Langdon will be closed to easterly traffic. So I guess it's into town only on Saturday and Sunday up High Street. The meetings I just announced will be held here unless otherwise posted. Weather observations for the month of July are available in the town hall. Citizens wishing to be listed on the select board's agenda should notify the town hall before noon, the Friday before the scheduled hearing. And the first item I have on our agenda for tonight is Joe Fagnant with a purchase order.
Good evening.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. So a new door on the north end of the shop, huh?
3 new doors, actually.
All right.
They've been there as long as I've been there.
Are these like overhead doors, garage doors?
Nope, they're
Entry
actual
doors?
entry doors.
$5,000 for 3 entry doors?
Well, 2, and one's actually an interior door.
Uh-huh.
They fire doors.
Well, they're like if you go put up a new building, they're what you use. They're just, when you can go to Home Depot, but you get what you pay for. I've checked them out, and they're not very good quality. And the ones that are on the building now, I venture to say they're original.
Yeah.
And, they're not very winterproof anymore.
So what's the primary issue that, is pushing you to replace the doors?
Well, the one on the far end of the shop, the first one, when you go to pull the door, the whole framework and everything, it just wants to pull right out, so with
It's
a
all
little
loose.
effort, you could pull the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so that price is to have them all installed. And that particular door, the first one, the whole framework and everything's gone, and it's
Yeah, really
steel
bad.
to steel, and
Rusted.
so they
or-
gotta pull the sheet metal and do some sheet metal work to go with it.
So this is a little more than just a door.
Correct.
It's the whole framework, it sounds like, is kind of shot.
Correct.
And they're bronze
Yeah, that's what
doors? Well, I'm more curious than anything I hadn't heard about.
Because they don't rust. I mean,
Yeah.
Will this help with the weather tightness, I'm assuming, of
it
the
will,
building? Yeah.
yes,
Cut down on some heat loss, that kind of thing.
yeah.
How's
And
your
it-
overhead door?
The overheads, they're not in bad shape. They're probably 15 years, 12 to 15 years old. We got time on our side.
They're working.
Yes. We're working on a new roof first before I go for overheads again.
All right, any other questions, I should say, about this bid?
I'm assuming they could get this done before the cold weather.
Right, yep. I just picked a company that does the good work, and I priced around, and they're all roughly the same money, so.
Reese is certainly a good outfit. Do you, does anybody else have any questions? If not, do we have a motion on the purchase order?
I make a motion, we approve the purchase order for the new doors on the Highway Department building.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so motion by John, second by Neil. All those in favor? If there's no further discussion?
Aye.
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 Okay,
So there you have it.
thank you, gentlemen.
Good job.
We'll be thinking about you come winter time.
And you're a little warmer than you otherwise would have been. Chief Clogston, could you come and speak to us, please?
I'd be happy to. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, I did that already. I'm gonna sign it again. To what do we owe this pleasure?
What we have here is, I'd like to change our ambulance billing company. We have been doing business with Comstar ever since I can remember, and for a long time that they were the only company around that would do it. Since then, this company, I believe, started back in 2000, and they started small, and they're starting to progress.
What's the name of the new company?
Enhanced.
Mhm.
Enhanced Management Services. They just do ambulance billing. The founders are paramedic EMTs. They're still active in that field, so they understand a lot of the rules and regulations, and they hire people to do ambulance coding, which means they extract from the reports that the guys generate when they do an ambulance transport, and then they apply the charges for that ambulance transport by the report that's generated. What this company does, why we're looking at changing currently, is we currently pay 10% of all collectibles. This one, we look at, we're gonna be charged 8%. Our current company, where collections were, just under 70%. And that has been standard for this company. This one says we should be getting 80%. So once we did the math, we'd be paying them the same, but the difference is about $56,000 back to the town for ambulance collectibles
Annually?
annually. Depends on
So,
the cost, okay? So it's kind of hard to really put a
Right.
number on that.
so your feeling is if they meet their target of 80% collections and they reduce the collection percentage, that you should end up with an extra $50,000 a year,
Correct.
more or less.
And if you look at what we pay them, it's running the figures from last year. We're paying them the same, but they're collecting more. So we're paying less, getting more.
I like
Paying the
both of
same,
those
getting-
things, yeah.
So realistically, all we would need to do is, we took the liberty of drafting up a letter, because the original contract with Comstar is signed by the Board of Selectmen. And I believe state as the language there. So if you're inclined, and this contract with this company would be for a year. So if you're inclined to allow me to pursue this, to try to get more money out of the ambulance billing, just sign that. We'll take a copy, and then we'll start the process, because we gotta give Comstar a 30-day notice that we're gonna go with a different company. And
Okay. And that's what this letter is really for. We're writing to ComStar and saying that we're going to use a different vendor and that this is your notice.
Yep, thank you very much for your service.
Sounds like a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Are other towns
Other towns.
using this service?
Yes, Belmont has currently switched over. I believe New Hampton is in the process of switching over. And when I attended a informational hearing, which our town finance officer went and my secretary went to, they handle most of the billing aspects of it. And all the features that they found were improvements to cut down on the amount of labor that they put into it. Everybody there has pretty much, they're indicating that they're gonna change, and I don't wanna say who it is because.
Yeah, that's
if they
fine.
do,
No, I understand. But you have some information about them having a reputation and
Yep.
fulfilling their commitments.
The town that already switched over, they were at the meeting to tell us that, what their experiences have been with this company and the research that they did, how they came up with this company, and how easy it's been to transfer and how helpful the enhanced is.
Are they just in New Hampshire?
No, they started out, and I'm sorry, they didn't have
It's
it.
okay, well, that's not really a fit.
They didn't start out here, they started out small, and now they're to the point where they feel that they can provide the same quality of service into New Hampshire. And one thing that they did say is that if they get to the point where they're not providing the same customer service, then they'll stop bringing in more. They don't want to go so far that now they're stumbling, they're not fulfilling their promises. But they have indicated that they're good to go.
So, does anybody have any other questions for the chief?
So, what you're saying is that they have a higher rate of return
Yes.
overall?
So, I guess we would entertain a motion to sign the letter notifying ComStar that we're going to terminate their services 30 days from the date of the letter, which is actually today, if we sign it, and authorize the chief to take on the services of enhanced management services. Is there a motion to that effect?
Sure.
I didn't mean
Oh,
to.
you did the whole motion, but thank you very much.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so, motion by Bill, second by Neil. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Chief.
Yeah,
This is
thank you very
great.
much.
This is great.
Thanks, chief. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
You
Thank
too.
you.
You too.
And our other agenda item is ATC update. ATC being the, I don't know if that's an acronym, if you can't pronounce it, I'm not really sure, but the abbreviation for the Alternative Treatment Center. And I don't remember how much of this we discussed before, but I think the update is that we were a little bit concerned about whether either Genesis or the football fields out behind the veterinarian's office might be subject to the drug-free school zone element of the statute that prohibits the sale and dispensation and other handling of drugs within 1,000 feet of a school zone. And so we asked Health and Human Services, and Health and Human Services wrote us a letter and said that they didn't think that that either one of those was a school purpose within the meaning of the statute, and therefore the location of the ATC at its proposed site at the old abode, or the former abode property, would not violate the drug-free school zone statute. I think that's really the update. Does anybody else have anything to add to that?
I'm curious, what would happen if a school was to open up within 1,000 feet?
Well, it's got to be pre-existing.
It has to be
They
so it
can
wouldn't
move
matter
that.
then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I think the only
Yes.
other thing is maybe we can repeat about next Monday, the public hearing.
Well, yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know and hasn't heard it, we did schedule a public hearing for a week from tonight at 6 o'clock. I think I mentioned it at the beginning, but it bears repeating now. For anybody who has any comments or thoughts or feelings about this one way or the other, so that's 6 o'clock next Monday night. And we're bringing this up with some frequency, just because we want to make sure people are aware of it and know about it, and have an opportunity to weigh in if they feel the inclination. Does anybody have anything else to discuss about that? Do we have any, Paul would kill me for saying this, I suppose, but do we have any comment from our two?
Public has no comment.
Frank has no comment, and,
I'm good.
and Jim is good. Okay, so
Thank you.
I guess that's it for that, right? It's gonna be a pretty short meeting, if that's the update. So let's see, now I lost my agenda.
Committee reports.
Oh, you're always there.
We have to like backtrack, I guess.
Oh, committee reports, yeah, does anybody, I sort of skipped over committee reports. Anybody have anything to say?
Haven't had any.
The planning board met. We had a business meeting, and Tara from North Country Council was there, who was helping us develop the master plan for the town, and we ended up talking about developing the questionnaire. And Mike Ahern and myself will be taking a whack at like making a draft questionnaire, passing around the committee, and then releasing that for the town ultimately, and the university.
So this is a questionnaire to get guidance in formulating the master plan?
Yeah, basically the desires, the long-term plans, things we might not be thinking about, bike paths, I mean, well, we don't really know, when
Yeah.
we get the results back in, and we'll like tabulate it and go forward.
Well, here it is. Anybody else? Neil, were you gonna say? No, you said you
I
did.
I have a comment later.
Okay. You're all set on? And I think that's it for the agenda. What did?
I just want to say that I really look forward to the university students returning, and I'd like to see good relations with the town and the university, and I hope that we're able to have interaction and develop mutual goals in the community.
Okay, thank you.
Second that.
I'll third it. Motion to adjourn, maybe? or-
So moved.
Non-public.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
We're going to
Thank you, Kathy. What would I do without you? So we need a motion to go into a non-public session
So moved.
by Bill, second
Second.
by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We are in non-public.
We